Welcome to Comet Hockey on Xfinity. Tonight, the Fort Wayne Komets, the leaders of the Central Hockey League's Turner Conference, take on conference rival, the Quad Cities Mallards. Here at Memorial Coliseum, a packed house is expected here on Comcast Report Card Night. Good evening, everybody. I'm Kent Horman. Glad you could join us for tonight's broadcast of Comet Hockey throughout the state here on Xfinity. And pleased to be joined by Komets team president Michael Franke. Mike, it's a great time to have the Komets home. They've been playing good hockey lately, riding a 3-game winning streak, coming off a huge victory Wednesday night against Evansville. And obviously, this is another good in-conference rivalry. The Quad Cities Mallards, they're a bunch of pesky customers.
Well, they are, Kent, and this is a big game for both teams, but a very big game for the Komets. Even though we sit atop right now of the division or the conference, we're not too many points away from being out of that final playoff spot, and looking on the inside from the outside, and it's kind of scary. We're all so closely bunched together. This is your traditional interdivisional 4-point game.
Well, it's a situation where they're going to be facing a high-powered Quad Cities offense. They're second in the league in goals scored, and they're led by Brandon Marino, who is a dangerous right winger. He leads the Central Hockey League in scoring, and he is a guy the Komets will have to keep a very watchful eye upon.
Yeah, he's a very good hockey player. Their power play is unbelievable. They're number 1 in the league on the power play. So we're going to have to stay out of the penalty box tonight. There's no question about it. No stupid penalties tonight against these guys. They skate hard. We're going to have to skate hard right along with them. Tom's done a great job. He's been doing this really since year 1 that we took the team over back in 1990. And like all of us, is 22 years older now.
Well, a special Wayne Literacy Alliance, and again, Michael, I know this has been just one of the multitude of projects the Komets are involved with that continues to give back to this great community.
Well, it is, but we just can't thank Comcast, Xfinity. They've been such a great partner for us over the years, and so we can't do this kind of stuff by ourselves, and it takes great partners, corporate partners like Comcast, to come along with us. And this is a great time for a child who does well to get good grades and get a free ticket.
Well, here's a look at the starters tonight for Quad Cities. In goal is David Brown. On defense, Bobby Pierce and Darren McMillan. Up front, Brandon Marino, the dangerous goal scorer, former Comet Justin Schwadorek, and the center is Sean Flanagan. The head coach is David Bell, and we have dropped the puck at center ice. We are underway at the Coliseum, and the opening draw winds up in the Comet zone. And we'll catch up with the Komet starters here in just a moment. Komets flash the puck ahead, and quickly, though, it's gathered by Quad Cities, dumped back behind the Komet goal where Nick Boucher leaves it. Good forecheck quickly by the Mallards as they bump along the boards, and it's collected by the Komet defenseman Jamie Lavelle. Finds some open ice, gets ahead to the Komets' leading scorer, Bobby Chaulk. Little backhand pass goes ahead to Jesse Benefield, and he dumps it deep into the Quad Cities corner. The Komets are already changing on the fly. We have played about 30 seconds and already some fast-paced action. Now it's left behind for Auger. Big drive that time by Colin Chaulk, sails wide. Now it's feathered around by Artem Podshendyalov. It gets past Chaulk's stick, but Podshendyalov hustles, flips it back into the corner where Chaulk eludes a big defenseman, Taylor Boucher. They battle for the puck along the boards. Now coming out of it is Podshendyalov. Little backhander right in front. A big save that time by Brown, and Chaulk couldn't quite collect the rebound, but he's got the puck again behind the net. Good pressure by the Komets. Here's Chaulk fighting off his forechecker, as that time it was Jared Brown all over Chaulk. Now Podshendyalov fans briefly on a shot as he cruises in front. Auger steps into his man, and here come the Mallards back the other way. Eric Giosa now feeds the pass over right along the boards. He's rubbed off by Big Henley. Oh, a shot in front, almost tipped by Jared Brown, but here come the Komets back the other way. Pass is feathered ahead. They'll just dump it into the corner, and the Komets go for the line change as we've played a little over a minute and a half. Scoreless here at the Coliseum, and the expected huge crowd has made its way in on Comcast Report Card Night. Now breaking out for the Mallards, Obi Aduba. Slips past the Komet right down the slot, but it's poked away, and here come the K's the other way. Jean-Michel Risk has it pulled off of his stick, wheeled around by Matt Duffy, and here come the Mallards back the other way. Board pass is knocked away by Jamie Milam. Komets tried to get some numbers. Now at center ice, the puck is batted down by Oduba, but the Komets gain control as Kaylee Schrock dumps into the corner. Komets pursue. Risk, though, is fought off, and here come the Mallards starting the breakout. Matt Duffy comes cross ice. Dumped into the corner. The race is on. Battling for the puck as they go into the boards. That time it's David Steranke as he tries to fight off Brandon Marino, the league's leading scorer and goal scorer. A drive from the point, steered aside by Boucher. Schrock is stepped into right along the boards. Mallards trying to take the play to the Komets. They know they have a stake in this one. Boucher, a good pass. Schrock couldn't carry him off the boards. Now in the second effort, he gets it ahead, and here come the Komets on the breakout. Komets wearing their burnt orange jerseys, very popular. Brett Smith tries to cruise in front. But now the Mallards again come away with control of the puck. Shot ahead goes off the skate that time of a Mallard, goes into the Komet corner, and it's the Mallards changing on the fly. End-to-end action in the first 3.5 minutes. Again, Quad Cities, John Snowden, as his shot deflected off the stick of Jamie Lavelle. And the puck winds up in the crowd. We can quickly show you who the starters were for the Komets tonight. It was Jamie Lavelle and Frankie DeAngelis on defense. Up front, it was Bobby Chaumont, Jesse Benefield, and Brett Smith. And there is the head coach of the Fort Wayne Komets, the former NHLer and defensive mate of Bobby Orr. Al Sims is the head coach of the Komets. He's brought many championships to Fort Wayne, 4 in total, including 3 in a row in what we refer to as the good old IHL days. Now here come the Komets on the rush. It's one-on-one. That time a shot attempt by Stefan Thorne was deflected away. Both teams have had a little bit of problem early on getting pucks all the way to the net. Now Thorne steps into his man. The Mallards are pinched along center ice. Wheeling is John Snowden, dumping the puck deep into the Komet corner. Kays look for a breakout. There is a crisp pass ahead. But again, the Mallards break things up in their neutral ice on the off wing. Snapping the shot in is Jared Brown. Now Colin Chaulk will try to fire the pass ahead near center ice. The cross ice attempt for Milam is intercepted, and there is a shot right on by Obi Aduba, and Boucher comes out to cut the angle off and make the glove save. And it sure has been good so far, Michael, to have that guy between the pipes. It's been an all-star year for Nick Boucher.
Yeah, it has, and you know we're throwing too many of those 80-foot passes across the ice, and none of them are working up to this point in time. But only 1 shot on goal for the Komets through the first 4 minutes and 10 seconds. 2 for the Mallards. We've got to get to the net. It's not happening right now.
Face off in the Komet zone, and Chaulk somewhat won the draw. It's shot into the corner. Podshendyalov controls, gets over the stick of Milam. And now it's sent ahead to Auger. He is stepped into that time by Mickey Lang, but here come the K's. Chaulk on the off wing, tries to feather it through the slot. And it's poked away again by Quad Cities. Matt Duffy moves the puck ahead. Now it's feathered past the Komet defender by Jason Costadine, who is a pretty tough customer in his own right. Now Milam breaks out. Oh, a good pass ahead. And here comes Chaulk. Leaves for Auger. Auger, one-timer, it's right on! And it's kicked out of there by David Brown. The puck went straight up and almost found the net. Now there's Lavelle, and he fires a shot that goes into the breadbasket of David Brown. So Komets collect a couple of quick shots there in the last couple of seconds. That's what they need, Mike, pressure in the offensive end.
Absolutely, and they were good shots. We got in close, and actually I think Brown took the first one on the shoulder, and that didn't feel real good. So those were good, hard shots for the Komets. We just got to find the openings.
Smith wins the draw, and Benefield fights through a check. Hustling is Bobby Chaumont in the corner. He's ridden off the play by Jared Lavender. Now a Mallard is without a stick. Quickly regathering is Lavender, but here come the Komets. Centering pass attempt is steered away by Brown. And now it's Quad Cities coming out the other way. Dumped neatly into the corner where it's gathered by Sean Flanagan. Now wheeling it out is Schwadorik, the former Komet, and another shot right on. And Boucher has it somewhere. Nick looks down. Right there it is between his feet.
Quad City's definitely buzzing. Their forwards are skating hard, they're skating fast, and they're trying to make things happen. This is a team that works very, very hard.
Justin Schwadorek started with Quad Cities and wound up being a Fort Wayne Komet for a while. Very popular. His nickname was Chewy. Fast skater. He's a real energy guy and found his way back home to the Quad Cities. Now Chaulk fights his way through a couple of Mallards, but the puck is controlled back to Justin Hofstetter. Pass a little too strong for Flanagan. The Komets have it. DeAngelis wraps it off the boards, but again, the Mallards doing a lot of neutral zone trapping, and putting the pressure on is Brandon Marino. There's a shot off the blocker, that time by Boucher, so Nick on the spot again. Quad City cannot keep it in the Komet zone, so they'll have to regather in their own end. Now Giosa tries to fight through a couple of Komets, and the puck is cleared to the Quad City zone. This will not be icing. Our officiating crew tonight, the referee is Peter Tarnay, the linesmen are Dan Cohen and Peter Sici. And a little scrumming around in front of the Quad Cities net, but there is a stoppage of play, 13:29 to go in the first period. And we have a timeout here on the ice. Teams will change lines. So this is one of our media timeouts here at the 13:29 mark of the opening period. End-to-end action so far.
You know, Taylor Vachorik, the defenseman for Quad City, 6'8", 250 pounds. That sounds like a tight end.
I'll tell you what, it sounds like a Washington Monument.
Holy cow.
Well, take a look at our attendance total here. Michael, I'm sure this is something you're proud of. Over 153,000 heading into tonight's game, the highest in the Central Hockey League. And you're going to pad that total rather neatly with tonight's crowd.
Absolutely, up over 160 after tonight.
Back to action we go, and here come the Mallards trying to put the pressure on. Chipped in by Jared Brown, but the Komets control. And the pass is tipped ahead by J.M. Risk. It goes right on, and David Brown just smothers it. So far, the Komets have outshot the Mallards 5-4. And now we've got a little scrum in front of the net. Looks like it's Snowden.
Molle.
Now, Brian Molle will take on anybody, and Snowden, I think, just realizes he picked on the wrong guy. Snowden started the whole thing, and Molle is going to finish it.
Well, you know, I'm kind of surprised. Snowden's only got 37 penalty minutes. I don't know what he was thinking there. That wasn't a real good move on his part.
Yeah, he's not really known as a guy for the fisticuffs. He's more of a points guy. He's got 37 points this season, 15 goals, and yeah, he tried to wade into the wrong guy. And you know, the story with Brian Molle is, number one, he'll mix with anybody. Number two, just to kind of hone his reflexes or his skills. Hasn't he spent the season taking boxing lessons?
Yeah, he's taking boxing lessons. He and a couple of the other guys on the team are taking boxing lessons. He didn't need him there, though. Snowden, really not a fighter, so kind of maybe Snowden was trying to get his guys going a little bit, and we might have an extra two on our side here.
The only thing I can figure, Michael, as you take a look at our officials, Peter Tarnay, Dan Cohen, and Peter Sici, and now they're going to have to explain what was going on to Al Sims. Snowden gets the fight, and I thought he was the guy who initiated everything. Molle gets a fight, but then he also gets 2 minutes for roughing and a 10-minute misconduct, and the only thing I can figure is they tacked that on, because once he had Snowden down, you're apparently supposed to break when the guy is in a relatively defenseless position. And Molle wanted a piece of him, and I suppose he didn't break quickly enough, so they give him a total of 12 extra minutes, and now it's a power play for the Mallards.
Yep, and they've got the number one power play, but I don't know, maybe they didn't break quick enough. Maybe he roughed up the linesman a little bit, but we don't want to be giving up these power play opportunities to the Mallards.
Brown is tossed out of the face-off circle for Eric Giosa. So the Komets have to fend off the first power play of the game. Cross-ice pass to Duffy.
They got the 6'8" guy out front.
Now that guy is a statue, Taylor Boucher. And there is a shot that's tipped off a Komet, but Quad Cities will still have the puck. Now it's Giosa coming up to the high hash. Getting ready to tee it up is Jared Brown if he gets a chance. Right up in front, though. Boucher can't do anything with it, and the Komets shoot at the length of the ring. Looks like a little extracurriculars behind the play, but on they play, and here come the Mallards on the attack. Another rush. Dumped into the Komet zone. Boucher can't get a shillelagh on it. Now Henley sends two Mallards to the ice. That's a little bit of law and order there. And now it's tipped ahead, and here come the Komets. Stefan Thorne with speed, with company, centers. Oh, and they couldn't get it. It was into the skates that time. Brett Smith was going to try to get a glorious opportunity if he could have kicked the puck out from between his feet. But great hustle by Stefan Thorne. Again, the Komets send the message as Hofstetter is sent to the ice. Now continuing on the power play. Here's Giosa. Again, left hash comes across. The one-timer by Duffy. Off the skate that time of Milam in front. And now the Komets have the puck. And it'll be sent the length of the rink by Smith.
They're setting the guy down low. This time it was a Duba. They're just sticking somebody right out in front of Boucher, and we're doing a good job clearing them out.
20 seconds to go in the power play. One last rush for the Mallards. Hofstetter briefly fans on it. They dump it into the corner. Boucher in traffic tries to play the puck. Has to hustle back into his net. Komets do a good job of scrumming along the boards. Oduba rubbed off by Milam. Komets need one last clear.
Here we go.
And here comes Risk. He feeds it ahead. Chaulk with some speed. Tries to leave for Risk. Risk has a shot. Oh, he just whistles it wide. But the penalty is up, and the team's back at full strength. Now Chaulk applying a great forecheck. Komets really putting the pressure on now. Artem Podshendyalov on the back check. Tries to put a little stick in Hofstetter's ribs to let him know he's there. Boucher rings it around the opposite way. Lavelle doing some battle with Justin Schwadorik. Now at the point, Bobby Peace tries to fire it into the corner. Podshendyalov backhands through. DeAngelis lets it go all the way around. Priest pinches in. Now back at the point, a shot right on again, fired by Flanagan, who covered up at the point. So right now the shots are even at 6 apiece. We have played 10 minutes and 32 seconds. Mike, it's been great pace.
Yeah, it has. A little chippy here and there too. It's been a really good first 10 minutes of the game. Fans are getting their money's worth tonight, and Nick Boucher's come up strong. Brown's come up strong for Quad City, so we just keep out of the penalty box. I think we'll be okay.
Face off to the right of the Komet goaltender, Nick Boucher. And it's snapped into the corner. Colin Chaulk, one of the best face-off men in the league. Komets can't quite clear yet. Now Chaulk gets it ahead, and here comes Jamie Milam. Fine rushing defenseman. Oh, he loops the shot, but it's off the skate that time of McMillan. Now they battle behind the net. Podshendyalov dishes out. Milam, a crisp little pass behind the net. Wheeling around with the puck is Auger. Auger, one of the more talented rookies in the Central Hockey League. Now Chaulk has it. Backhands it right back into the corner. Podshendyalov doing some battle. Auger in front, tries to score! Oh, what a great play! Auger to Chaulk, and the Komets lead 1-0.
Great play, good work by Auger in the corner and then behind the net. He dumped it out in front of the net. Colin was going through the paint, got his stick on it, right through Brown's legs. And for Colin Chaulk, that is goal number 14.
Well, that was just a working man's goal, starting with the effort in the corner, the play behind the net, and Colin Chaulk with the finish. And the Komets have the 1-0 lead at the 10:01 mark of the first period.
Go to the net, and good things will happen.
Auger with an assist.
Uh-oh.
Shot whistles wide.
Komets coughing it up in their own zone there.
And wheeling around with the puck is Brandon Marino. Centering pass, but steered aside by Boucher. Duffy on the rebound. It's tipped by Marino. Again, kicked out by Boucher. Marino puts the pressure on, but it's cleared to center ice. Duffy just wheels it right back in. Boucher stops behind the Komet goal. Now Henley turns. Neat little Karen pass off the boards. Komets playing a little pinball, and they clear it ahead. That time the pass by Benefield a little too strong. And the 6'8 monster, Taylor Boucher, tries to clear, but he has to collect the puck again. Gets it across to Matt Duffy. Again, the Komet goal. Chaulk his 14th at the 10:01 mark of the first period with the assist to Auger and Podshendyalov. Now a Komet loose on the wing. Shot directed into the corner, though. Racing over is Jared Brown. Komets again putting on the great forecheck. Haley Schrock gets away from the check that time by Justin Hofstetter. They do get a shot in front, but no, there's another one that just about whistles wide. Brown has to come out of his net to smother, and again there's going to be some more punches traded, and it's Haley Schrock. He's had enough.
Hofstetter and Schrock. Linesmen get in there and break it up. Don't know why, but they're not instructed to do that, but they decided that's what they needed to do.
Well, and I'll tell you something. Ever since, Haley Schrock, literally, Mike, more or less had to fight his way onto this hockey team. A kid from Fort Wayne, very talented. He has skill, but again, he will trade them with anybody, big or small. But I think he's had enough of a season of getting high stuck. Check from behind, there it is to the back of the head, and he just had it right there. And then all of a sudden, when he says, okay, let's go, Hofstetter turtles.
Yep, absolutely. And, you know, again, I don't know why the officials had to get in there on that. Both players had it taken care of. The officials are instructed to let the combatants go at it when they're in a position like that. And I'm sure that's very disappointing to the fans.
Hofstetter gets cross-checking. Schrock gets unsportsmanlike. I thought it might be a roughing the penalties at the 11-17 mark. So they're coincidental minors, and right now the teams will play 4-on-4. 8.5 minutes to go in this opening period from the Coliseum. The Komets on top, 1-0. Shots are even at 8 apiece, and it has been great end-to-end action so far.
A lot of open ice out there, 4-on-4.
Lavelle uses that open ice, passes ahead. That time the pass goes past Thorne. So Risk just finishes his check and steps into Giosa. Quad Cities just dumps it into the Komet zone and goes for a line change. K's have a chance to break out. Now moving ahead. Passes left for Podshendyalov. Podshendyalov is knocked down by Duffy. Fans were looking for a bit of a call. No, a one-timer from the point, and that's just a little bit wide off the glove of David Brown. Now there's a lot of scrumming going along between the blue lines, a lot of action going on at neutral ice. Now here's big Brett Henley of the Komets, moved ahead to Colin Chaulk. Chaulk puts on the brakes, dumps it into the corner, intended for Podshendyalov. And right in front again, and Quad City is having trouble clearing, but Schwadorek dumps it into the corner. Now here comes Matt Duffy. Duffy spinning in front of his own net. Fires ahead to Brandon Marino. Marino, the league's leading scorer with 61 points, leads the league with 28 goals. So far, he's been held relatively in check. Now here's Shomut. A pass just flipped in front of the Komet net. Hayes looking to block the vision of goaltender David Brown. Now the Mallards looking to break out. Shomut doing a good job backing up on defense. And here's a good play by Brett Smith off the wing. A drive! Oh, it's off the glove of David Brown and flips into the corner. Bobby Priest tries to clear it out, but DeAngelis hustling in. Pitches him off the play. Now Franke has the puck. Backhands it into the corner. Shomut gives way that time for Mealy. Tom Mealy seeing one of his first shifts of the night as we're under 6.5 minutes to go in this first period. Komets on top 1-0. A very fast-paced first period.
Kind of a playoff type feel to this game.
Now Sean Flanagan gets it ahead. Costadine is stepped into, and the K's wheeling out of their own end. Oh, good fake that time. And racing out is Schrock. Coming in with a shot right on, and it's kicked out that time by Brown. He smothers, and that will do it. We're at the 6:03 mark of the first period. Komets lead the Mallards in shots 10-8. They lead on the scoreboard 1-0. You are watching Komet Hockey on Xfinity.
Xfinity presents High School Sports. See all the best local matchups on demand. Go to On Demand, Hoosier TV, Sports, High School Sports to watch your teams on your schedule. Or stream online at xfinitytv.com or on the Xfinity TV app. The best in high school sports with Xfinity On Demand.
We went to stadiums around the country to show football fans what it's like watching the NFL on Xfinity. With NFL Network and NFL Red Zone, you get 24/7 coverage, plus a front row seat to every touchdown from every game Sunday afternoons. Sign up for the HD Premier XF Triple Play with NFL Red Zone and NFL Network included, and get up to $200 back. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Call today.
There you see a lot of this big crowd here at the Coliseum. It could be a capacity crowd before the head count is done. I know you had, what, about a 9,500 already in-house before you had the tickets for walk-up tonight, Michael?
Well, yeah, I don't think we made the sellout. Probably, within 400 or 500, I would assume. We'll get that number here at the end of the first period.
Chaulk on the draw, and the puck is just dumped the length of the rink. They'll say there will be no icing, so Boucher wraps it around. And again, the Mallards put on the heavy forecheck.
Here we go.
And there's going to be another fight. This time it's going to be Kostadine and Steranki. Kostadine likes to mix as well, and Steranki will take on anybody, and he just absolutely dusts Kostadine to the ice. And a good move by Steranki that time. With Kostadine down, he just started skating to the penalty box, so there wouldn't be any of the stuff that happened to Molle earlier on.
That's right. Steranki's got a good reach on Kostadine. Kostadine, a tough guy, but no match for Steranki on that one. And Steranki let up on him there. He could have pounded him further, but he decided not to. I'll tell you, this is chippy. Quad City's looking at this game. They don't want to fall too far into that fifth spot, and they're probably looking at this as kind of one of those must-game wins for them, and they're kind of playing a little off color for themselves. Usually they're not this type of a team.
Well, I think, Mike, that you've hit on something. They feel they may have to carry the play to the Komets, but that won't help. Kostadine is their leading penalty minute guy, 131 penalty minutes, add 5 to that. So I guess you could say their leading tough guy just got dealt the 5 of clubs with interest.
Yes, he did.
And now he sits in the box, and again, a good move by Steranki. He came in with 81 penalty minutes. So the Komets are winning on the scoreboard, and so far they have been winning the tilts. Down to 5:44 in the first. The K's still on top 1-0. Cross-ice pass is chipped in by Auger, but turned out, and then deftly flipped back in by Lovell. Duffy turns from behind his net. Good forecheck by the Komets, poked away by Lovell. So the K's doing a good job of clogging up neutral ice and keeping the pressure on the Mallards in their own end. So Quad City will regroup a little bit.
The big guy, Vachorik, he's out there. One thing you got to figure when he's 6'8", he's probably not the greatest skater in the world.
Yeah, he only has 31 minutes in 32 games, so you wonder if he's much of a fighter. You're right, you wonder how strong on his skates he is. 5 minutes even to go here in the first.
Offside. And
that will be offside on the Mallards.
Their speed on that first line with Marino, Giosa, and Brown is unbelievable. They're all pretty small guys, and they move around the ice very, very quickly. Our defensemen are going to have to be very careful not to let them either cut between them or cut around them.
J.M. Risk on the draw for the K's and knocks down an errant pass by the Mallards, dumps it back into the Quad City zone. Jamie Milam now with the puck, comes cross ice, takes the return pass, and now Milam moves it ahead where Risk tries to chip it in. Pinched off along the boards, and now Bobby Priest wraps it off the boards, almost takes the head off of one of his teammates, and now the Komets gather behind their own end. Henley fires it off the boards. Well, the puck finding a lot of time at center ice right now, so wheeling now is Darren McMillan. winds up in the Komets zone, and Boucher has to come well out of his net. Trying to snap a pass on his Giosa, but he fans on it. So here comes more of that Mallards forecheck, putting the pressure on the Komets, but the K's break out 3-on-2. Here come the Komets with numbers. Chaulk tries to put a shot on goal. It's off the stick of Lavender. And now the Mallards' turn. Leading the way now is Giosa. Giosa with speed. Crosses the blue line. Tries to dump a shot on goal. It's poked away. Now the Mallards will go for a line change. Under 4 minutes to go in the opening period. And here come the K's on the breakout. Slicing along the boards is Lovell, but he's cut off again, and here come Quad City. Centering pass, that time for Marino. He turns it out to the point. Shot is blocked. Return effort, kicked aside by Boucher, and Marino cannot pick up the loose change. Poked away by Lovell. 3.5 to go in the opening period, and here come the K's. Pass too strong for Benefield, but he turns on the Jets to chase after Lavender. Now up center ice. Again, here come the Mallards trying to pinch through. This time it's Schwadorek with speed behind the net. Boucher holding his ground, guarding a pipe, and then big Brett Henley just seals the deal right along the boards. Auger tries to steer up the middle. Benefield, a backhand pass intended for Chaulk. Chaulk steals it away, but he's bumped off the play that time by Lavender. Well, you can hear the Mallards yelling, wheel, 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 and out they come. But the Komets cut it off again at center ice. And now here come the K's back the other way. Auger spins off a check. Put a shot in front. It's way up in the air and off the glove that time of David Brown. And again, there's just a few more extracurriculars, some bumpings and some conversation after every whistle, Mike.
Yeah, there really is. And, both of these teams are playing very, very chippy right now. We got into a little bit of a mode there, some neutral zone play for 3 or 4 minutes, but it'd be nice to see the Komets get some extended play in the Quad City defensive zone. Brown's a good goalie, and it's tough to beat him.
Well, he came in with a record of 10-5 and a 2.60 goals against average, so even though the Komets have one of the tops, if not the top in the league, this guy is no easy guy to solve.
He spent some time in the American League this year, as has McKee, their other goalie, who's actually in Peoria, I believe, right now.
Yep, and he was replaced by Justin Grant, who was signed to be the backup goaltender. K's continue to put the pressure on. Brown definitely backhands it into the corner, and the big 6'8" Taylor Boucher has stepped into. Now the puck winds up back in the Komets zone. Off the stick that time of Jeremy Boyer, but here come the K's. Mealy just dumps it into the corner. He goes for the line change, as do the rest of the Komets. So fresh troops on as we are under 2 minutes to go in this opening period from the Coliseum. Great crowd and great to have you here. Komet Hockey on Xfinity. Report card night, Comcast report card night here at the Coliseum. Now 100 seconds to go in the first period. A big check that time applied to Giosa, and that changes direction. Here comes Benefield. Benefield with speed on the off wing. Snaps the shot, deflected up over the glass into the protective netting. And with 1.5 minutes even to go.
It's really important as we go down the stretch here in the middle of February. We got about 6 weeks to go. A guy like Benefield, we really need him to gain some confidence scoring. He's going to be an important factor for us if we're going to be successful in the playoffs. He's just got to get that shot off a little quicker.
Well, now Jamie Milam rushes in from the point, steers around the corner. Milam, who is a very productive defenseman offensively, keeps things going behind the Quad Cities net, but the Mallards clear along the boards, and Giosa, who's been very active in the first period, crosses the red line briefly. Fought off that time by Smith, but the Mallards get it deep. Backhand shot that time by Brown as well wide. Winds up back at the point and back into the corner, collected by Snowden. Snowden bumped off by Milam. Under 1 minute to go in the period, and again the Mallards are putting on the pressure. Komets have to make sure they don't stand around in the last minute. There's a shot snapped right through the goal mouth, and the K's collect, and here comes Benefield. Komets could have numbers, but hustling back on the back check is Jared Brown. Oh, a shot right in front, just whistles wide as Benefield hit the ice heavily. Now he goes for the line change. And there is Marino putting the brakes on in the corner as they try to pinch things up along the boards. Under 30 seconds to go, and Quad City still forcing the issue. A good centering pass, but it's fanned on by Flanagan. Podshendyalov will look to chip it out. He can't get it done, and it's kept in by Justin Hofstetter. Komets looking to clear with 15 seconds to go. Auger grubs it off the boards. Podshendyalov has it. Podshendyalov through the center ice area, and now he comes right down in the wing. He's only got 2 seconds to go, and he's going to be rubbed off right along the boards by Hofstetter. I think he lost track of the clock, Michael.
I think we were at ice capades there for a little while.
Well, it was a very exciting first period of play. The Komets lead in shots 10-9, and they lead on the scoreboard 1-0. Great opening 20 minutes, and we'll be back with more from the Memorial Coliseum. You are watching Komet Hockey on Xfinity. Well, along with Komets team president Michael Franke, Kent Horman here on Xfinity, and we are just about set for the start of period 2. Battle of Turner Conference rivals, the Fort Wayne Komets leading the conference with 58 points. The Quad Cities Mallards, 51 points. The Mallards, though, the second highest scoring team in the Central Hockey League with 157 goals. So far, the Komets have kept them off the score sheet, and thus far, a good omen, Michael. The Komets 15-2 this season when leading after 1 period.
Yeah, it's when you're leading after 1, it's usually a good sign. 10 shots on goal for the Komets, 9 for the Mallards in the first.
And we are underway in the second period. The puck winds up in the Mallard zone, and boy, David Brown thought about it, and then all of a sudden kind of lost his footing, just decided to smother the puck. Live to battle another day, and the face-off will be to his left in the Quad City zone.
The Mallards come into Fort Wayne. They're in the midst of a kind of a long homestand. They play back at home tomorrow night, and then Sunday, and then next Tuesday. This is a lone road game for them in about a 2.5-week period of time.
Lovell dumps it behind the Mallards' goal, and Brett Smith fights it out for the Komets. Now Bobby Chaumont working on the backhand, wheels at the top of the circle, gets it back deep, and the Komets putting some early pressure on. Benefield spins, shot right on, save, another save, and the puck is still alive. Oh, and it looked like a premature whistle.
No goal.
Looked like a premature whistle as they kept hacking away. There wasn't a whistle, then all of a sudden as the puck headed for the net, the referee, Peter Tarnay, blew the whistle.
Well, the rule states if the referee loses sight of the puck, he's got to blow the whistle. I'm assuming that's the case. Tonight's attendance, 9,886, 9886. Huge crowd on Comcast report card night.
Well, there you see the huge crowd in front of the Quad City goal as the Komets kept battling and battling and battling. And it looked like that time maybe a little tough timing by the referee, but you're right, Michael. He picked the wrong time to lose sight of the puck. Looked like it was still alive. So the Komets control the face-off. And again, behind the Mallards goal it goes. John Michael Risk turns, tries to feed it out to the point. Henley snaps it back in behind the goal. Kaylee Schrock right along the hash, flips it back into the corner. Stefan Ford pinched off the play by Matt Duffy. Now high at the top of the circle, Schrock's shot whistles over the net. Thorne tries to wheel it out, but instead, off the stick of Jared Brown, winds up at neutral ice, and Risk again collects. Check that time, handed out by Schrock, and the Komets applying a good early forecheck here in period 2. Back to the point, but the pass from Risk to Henley goes right between his skates. Boucher out to get the puck for the Komets. Now Steranke backhands it ahead as the Komets make a bit of a line change. They dump it deep into the corner. Now everybody will change for the K's. Off the boards, Oduba tries to clear but can't. Hofstetter will take a shot. Chaulk puts on the good forecheck. Podshendyalov with speed behind the net comes out to the point. A drive that time by Steranke. Again, the puck is loose in front, and again, no goal as the referee, Tarnay, waves it off because he blew the whistle.
Yeah, he blew the whistle. The goalie was laying flat on the ice. The referee is not a real tall guy, and I think he's losing sight of the puck because from this angle, it was clearly still in the blue paint, not under Brown. Brown, he definitely got a break there.
Yeah, Michael, we just saw on the replay, the puck was actually outside the crease. Let's take another look. There you see, outside the crease.
Yeah. He's a little whistle happy tonight.
That one is just a bad call.
Yep.
That is just a flat-out bad call. Pictures don't lie. So in 1 minute and 47 seconds, we've had 2 Komet goals negated. There's a drive by DeAngelis, steered aside by Brown. The first whistle I will give him. That one was a miss. But let's see if the Komets can regroup. We've played 2 minutes of period 2, still 1-0 K's. Back to the point it goes. DeAngelis tries to snap it in front. The Komets can't deflect. Hey, there's Chaulk. Oh, it just slides through the goal mouth. Handing up a big high check is Benefield as he dishes one out to Darren McMillan. And Chaulk putting on the pressure, but the Mallards look to break out. Benefield tries to knock it down, but here come the Mallards. McMillan feeds it ahead, but the Komets intercept, and it looks like they can have numbers with speed. Here's Chaulk. He winds up. It's deflected that time. Chaulk, though, continues to pursue, slips the check at Duffy. Now Benefield intercepts it, dumps it deep into the corner, and the Komets line of Benefield, Smith, and Chaulk will make a change. McMillan just kind of cruises out. Now on the right wing, a snapshot by John Snowden. Big check handed out that time by Giosa. Now here come the Komets looking to put more pressure on the Mallards. But Quad Cities tries to center it. That time Brown can't get it in front. Passes behind Brown. Here come the K's again with a potential 3-on-2. As Risk gets it behind the corner. Breaking out, though, is Boucher, the big 6'8 monster defenseman for the Mallards. Rips it around the boards. Komets intercept. Henley, great centering pass. A shot that time is blocked. Schrock went down to his knees, quickly gets back up. Cross ice, it comes to Henley. Henley unloads. That's tipped. Bloops over the net, and the Komets control. More pressure by the K's. Thorne slips a check. He's got some room behind the net. Looks to center. Fires it off of Brown. It caroms off his shoulder behind the net.
We're all over him right now.
Quad Cities looks to clear. Puck sitting at the blue line. Now the Mallards try to break out.
Oh, that was offside.
Yep, Jared Brown has it poke checked away, and here come the Komets back again. Thorne goes cross ice. Auger skating in. Brown backhands it around behind the net. Costadine tries to turn. He can't clear. Now Costadine gets the puck again. He tries to mount some speed up over center ice. Oh, a good hip check that time by the Komets to take Costadine off the play. Milam with the good check. Feeds ahead for Chaulk as he chips it ahead. Now here comes Chris Auger. Komets' talented rookie spins. There's a drive by Milam. Oh, it's off the skate of a Komet.
Should have shot the puck.
Yep, he kind of feigned the shot and just tried to feather something in front with the big cannon Milam has. Now Podshendyalov. Again, it's intercepted. Here come the Mallards. Here comes Jeremy Boyer. That goes wide. Komets have a chance to break it out once again. 15-20 to go in period 2. Still 1-0 K's. Auger, one-on-one. Turns near the top of the circle. Milam with the one-timer in it. Whistles wide. Podshendyalov chips it behind the net. Chaulk doing battle that time with Bobby Priest.
We're going to have to get some soccer goals out there.
Yeah, bigger nets. There you go, Michael.
Nets. We need them.
And here come the K's.
Penalty on Quad.
Yeah, because Chaulk was knocked to the ice, and Boucher gets all the way off for the extra man, but the whistle blows, and we will have a penalty here at the 5:09 mark.
A lot of pressure by the Komets. Brown playing very, very well in the net. We're getting some good opportunities. We're not hitting the mark right now. And this is one of those games where you get the feel we got to score the next goal because we've been putting so much pressure on, and you get the feeling if they score the next one, it's going to be trouble.
Well, there's a look at David Bell, the head coach of the Mallards. Obi Aduba. 2 minutes for tripping at the 5:09 mark, so the Komets go to work on the power play, looking to pad the 1-0 lead. Risk back to Lovell. Boy, he whistles a pass across that caroms off of Auger, so he'll go back to collect the puck again. The Komets will start the rush. Lovell shot it off a teammate. The puck wound up in the Komet bench, and again, as Michael pointed out, 9,886 in the house tonight. Another near capacity crowd here at the Coliseum.
Strange statistic for the Komets. Home power play this year, 9th at 17.6 in the league. Road power play for the Komets, number 1 in the league at 23.3. We got to get that home number up there.
Well, Michael, and the Komets have been a fabulous road team this year with 15 wins. Quad City's not a bad team on the road. They've won a dozen games on the road.
Yes.
There's a big drive. That time the whistle's wide. Lovell tries to chip it in again back behind as Benefield brings it around the boards. But the Komets can't keep it in. Now breaking out is Brandon Marino, but dumped ahead, giving chase is Schwidorik, who has great wheels. And now the Komets gather and will start a rush anew. Here comes Artem Podshendyalov. Speaking of wheels, Pods gets it over to Benefield. Benefield tries to center a pass in front, but it's gloved by Jeremy Boyer. Here come the Mallards. Boyer stepped into at center ice by Benefield, but not before he dumps it deep into the Komet zone. Now breaking out is Colin Chaulk. Chaulk with a good fake. Oh, he flips the shot right on the off wing, and the rebound is high in the air. That time Auger tried to gather it and finish, but couldn't. So the Komets again on the power play. Comes up high. Milam with a drive goes wide. DeAngelis tries to chip in the rebound. The puck in front. Who's going to get it?
Goals off.
Yep. And again, it took the referee a little while to notice that the puck had come off its mooring.
Our defensemen from the point, they're missing the goal by 3 or 4 feet on either side, or they're putting it over. We got to get these shots on net. Plenty of guys out in front of the net, but when you shoot it wide, it kind of defeats the purpose.
13 minutes, 11 seconds to go in period 2. 20 seconds left in the Komet power play. And the Komets have been turning up the heat. They now have a 19-9 shot advantage. And in fact, Quad Cities has not had a shot on goal this period.
Scary. Still just 1-0.
Chaulk on the draw against Snowden. Well, Snowden should be tossed. Well, neither is tossed. Well, the draw is briefly controlled by Matt Duffy, but the Komets quickly get the puck back. Now it's DeAngelis. Deep into the corner it goes. But again, Quad Cities can't clear. But the puck is just shot into no man's land, and now the Mallards have the puck, and they also are back at even strength. Snowden shoots it off his own man, and it winds up back at neutral ice, so Duffy just dumps it deep into the Komet zone. Kays look to break out. Again, this has been a very fast-paced hockey game. Little too strong for Chaulk, and lunging out of his net to freeze it is David Brown. And we have a timeout with 12 minutes, 31 seconds to go here in period 2. Again, end-to-end action with the Komets on top of Quad Cities 1-0. You are watching Komet Hockey on Xfinity.
Xfinity, Hoosier TV, and Morty's Comedy Joint present Trial by Laughter. Over 30 comedians compete for cash and prizes. Catch all the hilarious action on Channel 81. It's Trial by Laughter, a great new comedy competition brought to you by Xfinity, Hoosier TV, and Morty's Comedy Joint. Don't miss it. Tune in to Channel 81.
Taking the Komets' historic 60th anniversary to a whole new level.
This is the Memorial Coliseum in Fort Wayne, Indiana, the home of the Fort Wayne Komets.
Mondays at 7:30 on 21 Alive. It's your chance to sound off with the Komets. Each week, Indiana's news centers, Tommy Scheckler and a guest Komet take you inside the program, answer your calls, and talk to fans in the audience live from Wrigley Field Bar and Grill. Sound off with the Komets all season long. Mondays at 7:30 on 21 Alive. Presented by PHP, the insurance your health deserves.
Well, again, there's a look at the huge crowd here tonight. Almost 9,900 in the house here at the Coliseum. They have watched a good one. The Komets on top of the Quad Cities Mallards by the score of 1-0. 12 minutes, 31 seconds to go in period 2.
Out of town, Evansville 1-0 over Dayton in the second period. Bloomington and Arizona 1-1 over in Bloomington in the second period.
Risk on the draw against Snowden, and the puck again winds up deep in the Quad City zone. Rung around the boards. Giosa tries to break out, gets it ahead to Jared Brown. Komets doing a good job of pinching. And it crosses back into neutral ice, and then
Souvenir
chipped into the crowd, where some lucky fan will go home with a game puck. Tell you what, Michael, this begins a very, very busy stretch of hockey for your team.
Yeah, tomorrow night we're down in Dayton to take on the Gems and head over to Bloomington right after the game. We've got a Sunday afternoon game with Bloomington, and then we will stay in Bloomington and play there on Tuesday night.
5 games, 7 nights. And the NBA is complaining. So here come the K's. And again, a lot of mucking along the boards at neutral ice. Henley steps into his man, but the Mallards penetrate the Komets zone, but Giosa is cut off. That time Snowden tries to apply a body check, but the puck winds up floating around the front of the net. Nick Boucher settles the action right there, and Brett Henley tells Snowden, get away from my goaltender.
Komets have 2 big home games next weekend. Friday night, the 17th of February, the Bloomington Blaze come to town. And then 1 week from tomorrow night on the 18th, for the first time ever, the Allen Americans, which is a suburb of Dallas, Texas, one of the best teams in the Central Hockey League.
So off the draw again, the puck winds up in the Komets zone. From the point, shot right on, but it's steered away by Boucher.
Penalty on Fort Wayne.
Well, let's see what they come up with this time. A roughing call. So let's see what the penalty looks like on the Komets. It will come at the 8:25 mark.
Next game here on Xfinity Channel 81, the Komets and the Dayton Gems. March the 25th, 5 o'clock face-off here at the Coliseum.
Longtime rivals back in the old IHL days, the Komets and the Gems, and of course the Fort Wayne connection with Fort Wayne native and resident goaltender Brian Bratz, now the coach of the Dayton Gems, so that'll be a dandy. Molle goes off at the 8:25 mark, 2 minutes for roughing. And here come the Mallards on the power play again, and even though the Komets have dictated play throughout, it is still a 1-0 game, in Quad City looking for the equalizer here in period 2, as we have just about reached the halfway mark. Now the Mallards cycling, looking to penetrate the Komets zone. Deftly sweeping in is Giosa. And they've got the big guy of Chaulk trying to set the huge screen in front of Boucher. Now cross near the near hash. They try to get it behind.
They're getting in deep.
Yep, slowly but surely they're working closer to the Komet net, and they've got the big Boucher right in front. Shot is on, and Boucher is there to smother the puck. That may have glanced off of Taylor Boucher, who, as Mike pointed out, 6'8", 250 pounds. This guy needs a hitching post.
He's trying to do his best impersonation of Thomas Holmstrom of the Detroit Red Wings. He just stands there, and although he does not look real strong on his legs, so hopefully our D-men are able to get him out of the way.
Komets win the draw, and they manage to clear to at least neutral ice. 1 minute left in the power play. Now here come the Mallards. Circling is Giosa.
Here we go,
Komets do a
breakaway.
good job of intercepting. Here comes Smith. He looks, he shoots, he scores! Oh, what a play by Brett Smith.
Quad City coughed it up at the blue line. The D didn't know what to do with it. He took it away from Duffy and came in alone on Brown, and you know what? He didn't mess with it. He got to the hash marks, and he fired it up high over the shoulder.
Well,
look at that goal.
Smitty break in. You're right. He just a little faint with dipping his shoulder, and then he snaps it over the left shoulder. That is the second shorthanded goal of the season for Brett Smith, and again on the replay. He just came right in, knew exactly what he was going to do, and top shelf, good night. What a huge goal for the Komets, shorthanded, 2-0 Fort Wayne.
Big goal, big goal. We needed that one.
Well, now Quad Cities will try to answer. They still have 34 seconds of power play time. And a centering pass ends up going through the front of the Komets net, and here the Komets break out again. This time it's Chaulk. One-on-one, little backhander. Fended off that time by Brown. Chaulk follows the puck again.
Goals off the peg. Chaulk got caught in Brown's stick as he took the backhander on the net, and it pulled the goal right off and just about tore Brown's right shoulder out, too.
Well, still 18 seconds left in the Quad City power play. Kays have now outshot the Mallards 21-12. Well, I'll tell you what, Mike, you talked in the pregame show at the top of the broadcast about how even though there's still some hockey left to be played this month and next, this had the feel of a playoff game. This was a four-pointer. I'll tell you, these teams are playing like it's already a playoff atmosphere, and indeed, this is a four-pointer.
It is. Important for both teams.
Well, the Mallards under 10 seconds of power play time left. Flanagan manages to wheel the puck towards center ice, but just chipped ahead. That'll go all the way into the Quad City zone, and Brown has no choice but to cover up. That will end the power play. Face-off will be in the Quad City zone, and the Komets now with the 2-0 lead.
Like any team in hockey, whether it's here in the Central League or in the National Hockey League, if you put pressure on the other team's defense, good things are going to happen, and the Komets are putting pressure on. Smith put good pressure on the two D-men while they had the power play, stole the puck, and came in and made it 2-0. And you know, it's pretty evident that you put some definite heat on the other team's D, they're going to start coughing it up.
Draw goes to the point. Milam shot is high.
That was a cannon.
Off the arm that time of Brown. Kays, this has really put a little more spring in their step. The shorthanded goal by Smith. Now trying to sneak it out. Backhanded right on that time was Auger. Quad City showing a little frustration now. Pinching along the boards, and that time Auger picks the pocket of Lavender. Right in front. Oh, it's off the goal post. A big drive that time by Auger. Now Chaulk. Setting up shop again in the Quad City's corner. That's where he likes to do business. A one-timer.
Oh, another one.
Again off the goal post. Two straight shots off the pipe. A little bit of pinball action. Now Chaulk is hounded by Jeremy Boyer. Leaves for Podshendyalov. He's just shoved to the ice that time by Hofstetter. No call. Komets are just dominating play right now. Wheeling in front. And spinning his Milam. There'll be a penalty. Oh, a cross check. I'll tell you what, Auger's about had enough.
Yeah, there was the penalty, original penalty coming to the Mallards. And Auger would be best just to walk away here.
Well, it should be a double cross-check on Lavender. First he knocked him to the ice, and then he cross-checked him in the back of the head, and we'll see it on the replay right there.
Yep.
And I'll tell you what, you've had a situation where you've got one of your top players where he's dealt with concussion problems a couple times this season.
It's, I'll tell you something, it's something in the game that has to, that the players have to take responsibility for themselves, and that's the hits to the head. They're just not, they're not needed. Two minutes tripping for Lavender. 11:35. So the Komets go on the power play. The last power play by the Komets was not very well orchestrated. We do have the #1 defensive line out there now, so let's see what we can get done.
Well, you've got Smith, Chaulk, Benefield out for the Kays. Benefield knocks it down, but it's taken control of by Marino. Marino skates in, tries to feather the pass over that time to Schwadorek. He is stepped into deep in the corner that time by Milam. Schwadorek is just trying to pin the puck along the boards to run some time off the clock, but here comes Benefield. Swooping through center ice, he dumps it deep into the corner, and then he is stepped into that time by Marino, but Marino collects the worst end of it. Now Benefield, back behind the goal. Chaulk has it for the Komets. Chaulk near the hash. Comes right in front. One-timer by Milam, sails over the top of the net. Benefield easily bumps off the check that time by McMillan. The Komets now are playing very strong hockey in this period.
Smith's working hard.
That time it looked like the stick of McMillan got into Smith, and Smith a little bit upset as he heads toward the Comet bench. Puck has cleared the length of the rink, and Boucher blows a tire trying to skate out to stop it. Let's hope Nick is okay.
Well, he realized he wasn't supposed to be there. He was outside of the trapezoid, and he tried to stop. I'm surprised they didn't give him a penalty because the puck hit him.
And he was laying outside the trapezoid.
Yeah.
Komets dump it deep, trying to continue to work on the power play that has 35 seconds left. 7 minutes to go in period 2. It's 2-0 Komets. Podshendyalov spins it behind the goal. Duffy tries to clear for Quad Cities and keeps it on his stick, flips it to center ice where it's gloved by Molle. Now Molle, as he's pursued by Boyer, turns, gives to Level. Now here comes Level. Fires it deep around the boards. Races on for the puck, and the Komets briefly had it. Now big Taylor Chaulk tries to chip it out to the point. It comes to Level. Level snaps a shot in front. Kicked out, but the big rebound by Brown ends up being controlled by a teammate. There's a shot right on, and Boucher steers it aside. That off the stick of Aduba.
Icing.
That will be icing on the Komets because the penalty was up, and now Jamie Lovell's a little bit upset, saying that you didn't recognize that we had a chance to move it ahead. Now what do we got? We have a little dialogue here with the referee and David Bell, the head coach of the Mallards.
I think Bell was looking maybe for a penalty on the Komets when we were in the offensive zone on the power play. There were a couple opportunities. Maybe Benefield got the stick up high on the defenseman, and he's probably trying to make that clear right now.
Or he may be politicking in the future. And Mike, you made the excellent point. Boucher fell outside the trapezoid and the puck came around and got it. Maybe he's upset with that non-call.
That was probably what he was talking about. You're right. Yep. That's because it should have been a penalty because it did touch him.
Puck is chipped to neutral ice as we approach 6 minutes to go in period 2. Darren McMillan dumps it toward the net. Komets have outshot the Mallards 23-13 for the game. They lead by the score of 2-0 with 6 minutes, 10 seconds to go. It's been all Komets so far. A big crowd, a big game for the Komets, and you're watching Komet Hockey on Xfinity.
In case you've been wondering where we've been all this time, well, now you know. Meet Bill Jr.
Well, we emailed out pictures a while back, but you know DSL. Good things come to those who wait, which is why we feel Xfinity is too fast for us.
You can say that again.
Which is why we feel Xfinity is too fast for us.
I didn't mean literally say it again.
Go way faster than DSL with Xfinity Internet, only from Comcast.
Xfinity, Hoosier TV, and Morty's Comedy Joint present Trial by Laughter. Over 30 comedians compete for cash and prizes. Catch all the hilarious action on Channel 81. It's Trial by Laughter, a great new comedy competition brought to you by Xfinity, Hoosier TV, and Morty's Comedy Joint. Don't miss it. Tune in to Channel 81.
See, 6 minutes, 10 seconds to go in period 2. The Fort Wayne Komets 2 and the Quad Cities Mallards nothing. The beautiful Memorial Coliseum here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Komets team president Michael Franke, Ken Horman, glad you could join us tonight here on Xfinity. Wherever you might be tuning in to Komet Hockey, we are delighted that you can join us for tonight's game. A big one between Turner Conference rivals Fort Wayne, which sits atop the conference with 58 points. And fifth place, Quad City at 51, but only 7 points separates 1 through 5. It's been a great conference. 6 minutes even to go now. Quad City's looking to break out. Pass goes ahead, but off the stick of Snowden. Komets look to move it ahead. The Fort Wayne native Kaylee Schrock tries to fight through a couple of checks. A little backhand pass by Henley that's knocked in by J.M. Risk. Big check by Stefan Thorne applied to Darren McMillan. Komets have had a great forecheck tonight, giving the Mallards everything they want in their own end, and I think it's frustrated Quad Cities, and it's also neutralized that lethal offense.
Yeah, we're all over them. We're putting great pressure on their D-men, and let's face it, we could very easily have 4 or 5 goals tonight.
Again, you hear the rattle of the boards here at the Coliseum. Mallards try to break out Jared Brown, who's a good-looking winger with speed, but Komets have neutralized him. And it'll be another breakaway for the K's.
Rock.
He looks, he shoots. Oh, it looked like he maybe flipped it off the post, and it was steered aside. The thing comes again, the net comes off its mooring, and then afterwards, little conversation between Chaulk.
You can see Kaylee on the breakaways, and we've seen this all year with him. He looks very indecisive, like doesn't know what he's going to do with the puck.
Well, he came in on the backhander, Mike, and that time you have to give Brown credit. Did a good job of pinching off that side. And then again, when Brown slid down, it was his own skate that kicked the net off its mooring.
Yeah, he's got the Dominic Hasek thing going down there tonight, kicking the net off the mooring.
Well, there's a look at the Fort Wayne native, Kaylee Chaulk, frustrated that he didn't convert to make it a 3-0 Fort Wayne lead.
Rapid.
Benefield's, center's right in front, goes off the skate of a Mallard. Now it winds up back in neutral ice and then in the Komet zone, and the race is on. Chipped ahead, and it's big Taylor Vachorik feeding the pass across. Vachorik takes it again and fires along the boards, but the Komets again intercept. Here comes Benefield. Benefield tries to center. Benefield is hooked off the play, and there will be a penalty on the Mallards.
I would say that's either a hook. Yeah, we got a hook. It's going to be on the defenseman number 2, Matt Duffy.
Yep. Duffy will get the hooking penalty at the 15:29 mark. So the Komets' power play will go right back to work. And you know, Michael, one of the things that I think you learned from your first year in the Central League last year to this year is you need to upgrade it, the hockey club, at the speed situation.
Yep.
I think you're probably as fast a hockey team as there is in the Central Hockey League. And it looks like right now your speed is starting to wear down Quad Cities a little bit.
I would agree. Speed can kill, and that is a forte of this hockey club when we use it properly.
Franke DeAngelis has worked his way into the corner, comes back up high. Milam, who has the big shot to Chaulk. One-timer by Milam. Oh, it's chipped away that time. It may have caught off the skate that time of Brett Smith and then possibly off the body of the goaltender. Looks like the face-off will still be in the Quad City zone.
The Mallards defensively, even though we've only scored the 2 goals, we've had a lot of close-in opportunities. The defensemen look indecisive with Quad City tonight.
Chaulk on the draw against former Komet Justin Schwadorik, but the K's win. Colin Chaulk, Johnny on the spot with the face-off. Now at the hash, behind it comes Smith, back up. Oh, it's a little bit into the feet that time of Milam. He wheels back to Chaulk, in front to Chaumont. Chaumont with a couple of Mallards on him, retains control. Boy, Bobby Chaumont is so smooth. Now it goes back to Milam. DeAngelis along the half wall. McMillan tries to chip it away, but the Komets have it again. Ripped around the boards. Priest will give pursuit, but Chaulk pinches in and keeps the puck active for the Komets. Now behind the net. Let's see what McMillan can do. Just wraps it off the boards, and it'll actually carry him on goal where Boucher will stop it. He'll bank it off. Knocked down by Chaulk. Milam pinches Schwadorik off the play, and here comes the Komet captain, Colin Chaulk. Goes off the skate of Schwadorik, and Aduba will flip it into the zone. Komets still have 45 seconds on the power play. A third goal would be huge for the K's. Podshendyalov snaps it behind the goal where it's batted down by David Brown and knocked out into the Komet zone. Last man back is Lovell, so he'll set up shop behind his own goal and look for the breakout. Ahead it comes to Auger. Auger on the off wing with speed again. Evades the hook that time of Boyer. A couple of Komets in the corner. They feed it back to the point. Lovell and has it poked off his stick to neutral ice. Here come the Mallards. It's Boyer, but Lovell has it back, flips it ahead, and Benefield breaks in. Here comes Benefield on the wing. Looks to center. Benefield briefly poked away that time by Jared Lavender as the penalty is up, so the team's back at full strength with 2 minutes, 24 seconds to go. Oh, there's a shot flipped right on by Benefield. I think that caught David Brown in the breadbasket as Benefield was going for a line change.
I think the official missed another offside there. I think we were off by about 3 or 4 feet, but I guess we got a better view of it from up here. 25 shots on goal for the Komets, 13 for Quad City, but only 4 for the Mallards here in period number 2.
Well, the Komets have definitely carried the play, and still 2:22 to go, but right now I think the Komets feel they should have at least 2 more goals, but they still have the 2-goal advantage right now. Boucher behind his own net brings the puck around the boards. Mealy feeds it back to Molle. Good little pass off the wall. The Thorn who flips it ahead. Chaulk busting in. Centers right in front. Oh, a shot just off by Mealy. And then he is stepped into by Bobby Priest. Now Mealy and Priest getting tangled up. Komets, though, charging the net. Thorn centers right in front. The shot. Oh, it just whistles wide.
We got another penalty.
Somebody was again leveled from behind.
Cross check.
Well, the Komets are going to probably just about catch their fill of this cross-checking. And we'll see what happens in what could be a very interesting third period.
Mealy got wiped out right out in front of the net. I think it was Bobby Pierce that laid the graphite on him there.
There you see the early action with Mealy and Priest being all wrapped up. Comes at 18-13. Yeah, that's just blatantly ridiculous, to be honest.
15-4 shots on goal. The Komets out shooting the Mallards here in period number 2.
So Priest for the cross check at 18-13. The Komets have to start cashing on these opportunities. The draw winds up flipping high over to Angeles, so Milam wheels. Feathers the pass ahead. Oh, Milam!
Yeah!
What a pass, and Milam right in the high slot. A cannon, and the Komets lead 3-0. That only took 11 seconds of power play time.
I don't care who you are, you're not going to stop that puck. It was put right up over the left shoulder, as you can see, of Brown. It's a cannon. He's got the hardest shot on the team by far. Placement is the key, and he put it right in the right spot.
Well, there you see the replay. It only took 11 seconds of the power play. 18-25.
14th
Jamie
goal.
Milam.
14 for Milam.
Colin Chaulk with a beautiful pass. As Milam was just cruising right down the slot. And he buried it again, top shelf. So the Komets lead 3-0, and we are under a minute and a half to go here in period 2.
Milam with his 14th goal on his way to a possible 20-goal season for a defenseman, which is pretty impressive.
Well, Mike, we talked about this in our New Year's Eve broadcast. Boucher Shreveport folding was the Komets game where you get Smith and Milam. Now right up in front, Auger cruises, and the Komets score again. Auger just stayed with the puck, and now there's going to be an argument, and I think somebody just collected a misconduct for the Mallards.
Well, the Mallards, they lost it totally in their own zone. There's no way that play should have happened. The defense just went to sleep on Brown.
Well, you see Auger with a great move in front. First shot is stopped. Somebody is jabbing away at it. Looked like it was Auger.
Now, I'll be honest with you. Of the 3, I would have blown the whistle on that one, and not on the previous 2.
Well, and if you look at the replay, you see Brown very upset. You look where the puck is sitting.
Yeah.
And it's still sitting in the crease.
Yeah, that was, well, maybe that was a makeup call.
Wow.
We'll take it.
Chaulk gets the goal. They give the goal to Colin Chaulk. And Auger gets an assist at the 18:56 mark. We're 44 seconds to go in period 2. Komets have broken it open, leading 4-0. And the frustration continues to build for the Mallards.
I wouldn't be surprised if the scorer of that goal has changed during the intermission. I think Auger got it.
I do too, Mike.
Yep.
Looking at the replay, couldn't agree more. Costadine bumped off by Steranke. Now Kaylee Chaulk tries to break out with 15 seconds to go. Just wants to dump it in, takes a high hit from Aduba. Chaulk still has the puck, dumps it in. It was offside, delayed offside. Now it's moved ahead to Marino, who has really been held in check tonight. 2 seconds, 1 second, and that'll do it. A dominant period for the Fort Wayne Komets as the K's pour in 3 goals past Quad City goaltender David Brown. And after 40 minutes of play, they lead Quad Cities by the score of 4-0. Huge period for the Komets. And the Komets will continue to see if they can build that lead. You are watching Fort Wayne Komet Hockey on Xfinity. Well, and again, you can only see those kind of behind-the-scenes features outside the jungle here on Comcast On Demand and only on Hoosier TV. We're getting set for period number 3, and the Komets lead 4-0 over the Quad City Mallards. Komet Hockey on Xfinity. Well, third period action underway here at the Coliseum with the K's on top of Quad Cities 4-0. And again, they muck it along the boards at neutral ice. Mallards trying to get something going offensively. They just have not been able to get much pressure at all on Nick Boucher. That time Snowden tries to fire one from a bad angle. It goes off the side of the pipe, and here come the Komets towards center ice. But Snowden again has it, comes across, and that was offside off the skate of Jared Brown, who had both feet across the blue line, and he's got that what who me look on his face. He was clearly offside.
Komet Director of Communications Chuck Bailey just handed me a note. Auger now on a 7-game point streak, 5 goals, 7 assists, 12 points in 7 games. Smith is on a 5-point game point streak, 3 and 4, 7 points in 5 games. And Colin Chaulk with a multi-point night. That's 2 nights in a row, as he had 2 points down in Evansville the other night.
And he has 2 goals and 3 points tonight as the K's have poured it on the Mallards. You just might be tuning in. Chaulk with a goal in the first as the puck comes right out front, and the K's break out again. And here is Auger. Gets it across to Podshendyalov. Podshendyalov with speed. Chased behind the net, though. Now Pods comes up high, spins, dumps it back into the corner. And Chaulk, who's had the big night, centers in front. Auger almost has a chance to chip it home. This line has played very, very well tonight. Now the Mallards try for a breakout. They'll be content with just dumping it into the Komet zone and making a change. K's exploded for 3 in the second period. Smith, his 17th, shorthanded. Milam, a power play goal, his 14th. And then Chaulk, his 2nd of the night and 15th of the season. Komet scored a pair of goals just 31 seconds apart late in period 2 to break this one open. Well, we've played about 2.5 minutes of period 3, and the K's feeling pretty good about themselves. That time Benefield tries to leave it up high. Again, they battle along the boards.
That was another offside. He backed in over the line first before the puck did.
So here come the Mallards, looking to make anything happen. Aduba just dumps it back into the Komet corner, and there is Brandon Marino, who's had a frustrating night. League's leading scorer, 28 goals, 33 assists, 61 points, and he has the big donut this evening. Benefield wrapped up by Flanagan, so he just dumps it in. The Komets go for a full line change. Now wheeling out is Darren McMillan.
Penalty. You're going to get a slash on the Komets.
And it's going to be one of those thin penalties as Brown races to the bench so the Mallards can get the extra attacker on. So they have the extra Mallard on the ice as Brown has made it all the way back to the bench. Big check delivered that time. And finally there is a stoppage in play as Mealy delivered the check, and he will also pick up the penalty.
I thought it was Risk at first, and I think Risk thought he was going to go too. But they both slashed the opposition at the same time, so it's melee, 2 minutes for slashing. You know, you mentioned it earlier, Kent. I think the big difference that we're seeing tonight versus the last 4 or 5 Komet home games is the team speed. Everybody's skating hard tonight, and we're making plays happen with our speed.
Well, the Mallards on yet another power play. That is the Komets' 7th penalty tonight for a total of 28 minutes. The Mallards have collected 7 penalties in this game for a total of 20 minutes.
Out of town tonight, Evansville 1-0 over Dayton in the second intermission. 2-2 Bloomington and Arizona in Bloomington in the third period. And Wichita over Tulsa 2-0 in the third.
Komets immediately clear the puck to neutral ice off the face-off, but Duffy will send it back deep into the Komet corner. Molle with a high hit, and he's going to get a penalty.
Yep.
I'm sorry, that wasn't Molle. I think that might have been Henley.
Yeah, it was Henley.
And now they play on, and now the Komets finally touch the puck. Yeah, you can see Henley with a little bit of a high hit. And you can hear Henley telling the referee he's only that tall, and he pointed about chest high.
Well, I think the reason he's getting the penalty is it was up in the head area, and they're trying to stop as many of those as humanly possible. See, he hit him in the head.
Yep. It's a cross check, and I think Henley's beef is that Marino kind of did a little deep knee bend, and so he did lower his center of gravity, but Henley still has to be more mindful of that. So
got a goalie change right now for Quad City. They're bringing taking Brown out of the game, and bringing the young, well, actually he's not young, Grant, the new backup goalie, in. Kind of an interesting thought there.
Justin Grant, who was just signed to replace David McKee, who was called up. So it is a minute and 42 seconds of a two-man advantage for the Mallards. This could make things interesting here early in the third. Marino sends it up high. A one-timer right on that time by Jared Brown, and it's smothered by Boucher.
All right, we're going to make another change now. Brown is coming back in. I don't know what we're doing here, but playing musical goaltenders for Quad City.
This is shades of 1978 with Greg Pilling.
Yeah, I was going to look and see if Pilling was down there because they might turn the goal around next.
Way back when, Robbie Irons and Murray Bannerman. Well, David Bell is trying anything to get the Mallards on the board. K's win the draw, and it is snapped the length of the rink. Good play that time by the Komets.
Big draw there for Colin.
Now the Mallards trying to force the issue in a hurry. They'd like to collect a couple of goals on this two-man advantage. Giosa. Marino now chips it back to the point to Jared Brown. Brown over to Marino, the league's leading scorer, comes top of the circle, now comes up high, weaves around. Chaulk trying to play some good defense. Snowden scores. Well, he just snapped a little wrist shot from near the top of the circle through a screen, and that may have caromed off somebody. So the Mallards collect on the one power play. And it's now a 4-1 game, and the goal coming at the 4:25 mark. There you see on the replay.
You know, there's only so much you can do when you've only got three guys out there. I think Nick was hoping that the D-man would give out a little more than that, but that was difficult.
Snowden with the goal. And now it's a 4-1 game, and still a minute and change of power play time for the Mallards. Well, the key is now, as they say, damage control.
Kind of surprised. You wonder if they get a deep draw here in the Komet zone. You wonder if they'll pull the goalie and get another two-man advantage and try to get to 4-2.
That's a good point, Michael. Well, I believe they gave Snowden the goal with Marino an assist at the 4:25 mark. 40 seconds left in the second man advantage, as that time weaving through traffic is Giosa. And again, back to the point, so the Mallards setting up shop on their potent power play. Comes across one-timer that time, is fired wide by Matt Duffy. But Marino collects, weaves through traffic. Puck is being chopped around, but the K's can't clear. Now Snowden comes up high to Duffy. Chaulk tried to drop to his knees to block any kind of a shot. There's a shot. It goes off the body that time of Aduba and caroms away, and the Komets clear.
That's the end of the penalty.
Yep.
penalty coming out.
That will get the job done, so the damage is minimal as the Mallards score 1 with the 2-man advantage. K's still lead by 3, 4-1 as we approach 14 minutes to go in the match.
They gave Brown an assist on that goal too, Brown and Marino.
There's a shot from a tough angle. It's right on. Almost squeaks between the legs that time as cruising in was Auger. Well, K's have still outshot Quad City 28-17, but the Mallards are on the board. Komets lead 4-1. 13:54 to go in the third period. You are watching Komet Hockey on your Komet Hockey station, Xfinity.
Taking the Komets' historic 60th anniversary to a whole new level.
This is the Memorial Coliseum in Fort Wayne, Indiana, the home of the Fort Wayne Komets.
Mondays at 7:30 on 21 Alive. It's your chance to sound off with the Komets. Each week, Indiana's news centers, Tommy Scheckler and a guest Komet take you inside the program, answer your calls, and talk to fans in the audience live from Wrigley Field Bar and Grill. Sound off with the Komets all season long. Mondays at 7:30 on 21 Alive. Presented by PHP, the insurance your health deserves.
Xfinity, Hoosier TV, and Morty's Comedy Joint present Trial by Laughter. Over 30 comedians compete for cash and prizes. Hit your on-demand button on your Xfinity remote right now. It's Trial by Laughter, a great new comedy competition brought to you by Xfinity, Hoosier TV, and Morty's Comedy Joint. Don't miss it. Hit your on-demand button on your Xfinity remote right now.
Face off in the Quad City zone. To the right of goaltender David Brown. 13:57 to go in the match, and the Komets still with a rather commanding 4-1 lead, but again, do not sleep on the Mallards offense. Now the K's try to break in, but there is an offside because Smith had been hogtied by Schwadorek, and he was clearly ahead of the puck in the Mallard zone. There's a good look, at least in the rearview mirror, of David Brown, 26-year-old goaltender, 10-5 coming into tonight's game with a 2.60 goals against average. Smith wins the draw and draws it back. Benefield tries to wheel it in, but he fans on it, so it was gathered by Lavender. Now Benefield again manages to finally chip it deep. Hofstetter gives chase, slips the check, bangs it off the boards, and that should go the length of the rink for an icing against the Mallards.
You know, Brown has not played poorly at all tonight. He's come up with some really, really good saves. And so Quad City's got to be very happy with their goaltending, as we mentioned early in the broadcast. You know, these guys, both McKee and Brown, have spent time this year in the American Hockey League. And, you know, Brown, of course, played 4 years at Notre Dame.
Native of Stony Creek, Ontario, and will turn 26 tomorrow.
Wow. Happy birthday.
And the Komets go off sides as they try to put the pressure in. This probably isn't the early birthday present he was expecting.
I believe, and you would probably remember this better than I, but Notre Dame played the game here in Fort Wayne a few years back, and
yes,
I believe he was on the team at that time. He played from 03-04 through 06-07. Not quite sure.
Sounds like the right timeline, Michael.
Yeah.
Bobby Priest tries to feed the pass over to Giosa. Komets have done a great job of really pinching the Mallards off every time they try to get anything going, and there's a delayed offside, so Risk dumps it back. Henley fires ahead, and it's just chipped off the stick of Schrock, so that'll go back behind the Quad Cities net where Brown leaves. Fired off the boards in the ornery Karam. Snowden is bumped to the ice. Well, right now, for the first time really tonight, the pace of play has slowed a little bit, but this has been a relatively whistle-free game. There have been some penalties, but again, hasn't been a penalty-filled game. Now a pass intended that time for Giosa was poked away. Shot goes off the side of the pipe.
You get the feel, though, that if Quad City can put another one in here, it's going to be anybody's game.
Yeah. Yeah, if they could get another goal within the next, I would say 2 to 3 minutes.
Watch out.
Yep. But the Komets have been very, very good this year at sealing the deal, especially when they gather an early lead. Now a pass chipped ahead, fighting through is Auger. Auger puts on the brakes, tries to feed a pass in front, goes through a maze of players, winds up in the corner. And now flipped ahead into neutral zone, but Jamie Milam just pumps it right back in to the Quad Cities end.
On the screen.
Yep. So a stoppage in play, 11:41 to go here in period 3. Komets on top of Quad Cities 4-1. They have outshot the Mallards 29-17. And, you know, again, Mike, we talked about this at the top of the broadcast. Quad Cities, a dangerous offensive team, second in the league in team goals scored. They only have 17 shots tonight.
No, absolutely. And, you know, we've been able to, for the most part, except on that 5-on-3, keep them off of a lot of power plays, and that's been important. But again, our team speed tonight has been excellent. And you know, one thing, we're in first, they're in fifth, but they're just a point away from the 4th playoff spot. So you know, they've got a lot to fight for, and they're still in good shape.
Chaulk wins the draw from Aduba. Auger outmuscles Duffy. The puck was centered. Boy, that time a glorious opportunity, but Podshendyalov just couldn't quite get the final touch on the stick. And now deep in the Komet corner, Kays look to turn to clear. Franke to Podshendyalov, puck just sitting there in open ice. And the Mallards looking to make something happen. Oh, a centering pass goes right through the goal mouth. And the Kays just flip it off the boards. Chaulk with some wheels. Tries to bust into the zone, but big Taylor Boucher bats it away. And again to neutral ice they come. Now the Mallards trying to break in. Komets fend that one off. Here comes Aduba. Fires a long shot, gloved by Boucher. Spins it behind the net. Level chips it ahead. Chaulk chips it out. Benefield tries to fight through. Chaumont, though.
Hand pass.
I'm going to say advancing the puck to the teammate with the hand.
Komets advancing the puck to a teammate with the hand.
Well, there's a sneak peek into the Komet bench.
Again, Komets coming into the game with 58 points, Evansville 56 points. Both teams playing the same number of games, 43, and the last time we checked, Evansville still holding on to that 1-0 lead over Dayton.
Well, so far this season, the Komets have dominated the Evansville series, and they've also done a great job in the series with the Mallards.
4-1, I believe, coming into the game.
Henley with a big check applied that time to Snowden. Knocks his hat off. But again, the Mallards trying to put pressure on. Snowden takes a hit from Chaulk. But Kaylee Schrock that time was very mindful that the guy didn't have his helmet on, so he didn't really try to level him. Puck going the length of the rink, and that'll be an icing on the Komets.
I think the Komets are saying that the Mallards shot that around. We didn't shoot that, and that the face-off should come back to center ice.
Well, the officials should confer. Take a look at the replay and see if we can find anything. There's a look at the replay of the Henley check right in front of the Komet bench as he just drilled Snowden and then his helmet came off.
It's going to come out to center ice.
The officials realize the error of their ways. And it looks like Snowden is not very happy about that last exchange.
Again, the Komets after tonight, 3 games in the next 4 nights. Dayton tomorrow, Bloomington Sunday, Bloomington Tuesday, all on the road.
Next home game a week from tonight here at the Coliseum against the Bloomington Blaze.
Oh.
Well, one of the linesmen blows a tire. That always delights the crowd.
You know, it's funny, the owner of the Allen Americans, who will be in here next Saturday night for the first time ever, that is a suburb of Dallas, Texas, actually is, here we go, there's the linesman taking a little dive.
Whoops.
But the owner of the team in Allen is actually a graduate of Purdue University.
Good school.
Yeah.
Well, the Komets again looking to break out, and they will. See if they can keep it ahead. Boy, racing in that time was Smith.
Uh-oh.
And we may have a situation again. Yep, the Mallards' frustration continues to show. Yeah, see, the linesmen are going to do a pretty good job of breaking this one up. That's Priest.
That was kind of a cheap shot by Priest there.
Yep.
I mean,
well, they just got tangled because you're taught from the time you're a peewee, you charge the net. And I think all Smitty was trying to do was charge the net, got tangled up with Priest, and then Priest just flipped him. This will be kind of silly if they call it a fight. If anything, it should be roughing.
yeah, you would think they'd each get 2 minutes here.
And you actually see Priest slowing down, coming up high with the elbow. So Smith took a little exception, gave him a face wash, and then there you see the little barrel roll, and after that it was going to be on.
I'd say 2 and 2 is what we should get there, and that's it. 4-1 Komets over the Mallards with 9:50 to go here in the third period. Big crowd on Comcast report card night. Great to see all of the kids be rewarded tonight for their good work at school.
9,886 in the house as Comet attendance continues to swell. Well, they get double minors, Mike. 4
That's
minutes
all
for
right.
roughing. Yep. And that comes at the 10-10 mark. Smith and Priest with a double rough. Face off in the Quad City zone, and Duffy tries to wrap it around, but a bad Karen puts it on Podshendyalov stick. He sends back to the point. Now the Mallards manage to clear. And Shvedorek has to spin, takes a teammate offside, so Shvedorek still controls the puck. Got it over to Flanagan, who tries to dump it deep. Komets seem to have really taken the Mallards out of their system tonight.
Yep, we played physical when we had to, and again, the speed. You know, we're used to maybe chasing some teams. Now they're chasing us.
And the K's break out 3-on-2. There's a big shot that whistles wide. K's keep it in deep. Now Milam, little dipsy doodle, and he breaks in. Milam, who's one of the goals tonight, a cannon blast and a power play. Well, the thing the Komets are going to have to be mindful of now with under 9 minutes to go is just to make sure things don't get too chippy down the stretch, because there's a lot of hockey to be played this weekend and over the next 7 days. Chaulk turns and wheels it back to Level, who feeds it ahead. That's going to go the length of the rink, but it was tipped. Now Quad Cities again, they've spent a lot of time being pinned in their own end this evening. 8 minutes, 30 seconds to go in the match.
Well, this is big for the Komets too, with just 8 minutes to go and only giving up 18 shots, because we've been giving up a lot of shots the last several weeks, so it's nice to see the number down.
Snowden ahead to Jared Brown. Boucher out of his net. Henley tries to feather it out, can't get it done. And there's a shot right on. Boucher with a save. Jared Brown with the rebound, and it was blocked by a Komet. Now, here come the K's breaking out. Kaylee Chaulk just flips it in, and the K's are going to go for a line change. Hustling in is Stefan Thorne. But the Mallards again trying to get something going offensively. Less than 8 minutes to go. That time Chiosa, who has some good wheels. Oh, Boucher bumps him into the back of the net. Oh. Puck winds up right near the goal mouth, but Henley is there to take control. He's pursued by Mickey Lang, but now the K's have it at neutral ice. Lang, though, good back check. Pries the puck away, and here come the Mallards. Jared Lavender fires through center ice. Komets again doing a good job of just stopping the Quad Cities attack right at the blue line. Lovell feeds across. Now DeAngelis, fine rushing defenseman. Franke cruising deep into the corner, spins, now drops it back. Big Taylor Vichorek spins it around for one of his teammates, and here come the Mallards with 7 minutes to go, but they trail by 3. Now Aduba. Komets would be perfectly fine with Quad Cities playing a lot of hockey in their own end.
Oh, man, that hit one of the D-men and almost went in.
Yep, a long, almost a 100-foot shot that almost surprised Boucher. Now the K's now, I think, are going to do a little more dump and chase here in the final 6.5 minutes. And it's not like they're going to sit on the lead, but as Mr. Comet Eddie Long used to say sometimes you just let the puck do the work.
That's right. You got to make sure when you dump it, though, you got to chase it.
Yes. Brandon Marino, the league's leading scorer, who does have an assist tonight when they scored their lone goal on the two-man advantage. And Marino giving chase. Oh, big chop there at the puck behind the net with Boucher in the neighborhood. Steranke being chased by Flanagan. And there again is Marino knifing in. Tries to center, but controlled by the Komets, they could again break out with numbers. Podshendyalov feeds ahead. Tries to take the return pass from Molle, but it winds up behind the net. But here's Podshendyalov, who's always near the puck. Podshendyalov deep into the corner. Kay's doing a great job of now controlling the puck. Henley, snapshot right on, and Brown knocks it down and then covers up. Komets continue to control the action. 5 minutes, 37 seconds left in the match. The K's have outshot the Mallards 29, now 30-19, and they lead it by the score of 4-1. You are watching Komet Hockey on Xfinity.
Hi everybody, I'm Jad Porter. Don't miss Total Warrior Challenge on Comcast On Demand in Channel 81. It's excitement you can't get anywhere else.
As you all know, Quest and CenturyLink have come together, and thankfully, they still offer the same old DSL speeds.
And?
To show our appreciation, I've taken the liberty of creating a new mascot. I present to you the CenturyLink Sloth. Half snail, half sloth. It's really slow.
What about Slail? It's got a nice ring to it, no?
We're going with Sloth.
Go faster than CenturyLink DSL with Xfinity Internet, only from Comcast.
Well, there you see one of the big boards here at the Coliseum, a recent addition. 5:37 to go. The Komets on top of the Quad Cities Mallards, 4-1. K's looking for their fourth consecutive victory. And just over 5.5 minutes away from securing just that. Brett Smith in on the face-off as he wins the joust from Shvedorek. There's a shot right on off the blocker of David Brown. Now the Mallards again, who've been frustrated tonight, looking to find any kind of way to put an offensive attack on Nick Boucher, who's had a relatively light night. Matt Duffy wheels out, good crisp pass ahead. Now it's flipped in by Sean Flanagan. Racing into Shvedorek, tries to center. Kay's batted away, but Shvedorek comes up with a loose puck. Oh, right in front. He had a backhand attempt, but he lost a blade, went down, and he couldn't get much of a shot on Boucher at all. Marino back to the point. Duffy tees it up. The shot is chipped by Shvedorek, but a little bit wide. Marino tries to center. Boucher knocks it down. Now, that's one of the best offensive sequences as far as any kind of pressure on Boucher that the Mallards have mounted probably in the last 10-15 minutes.
And we've done a good job tonight defensively out in front of Boucher. When they scored the goal on the 5-on-3, those are very, very tough ones. But we've done a good job. He's seeing most of the pucks tonight, and I think he's got a little equipment malfunction. He's got to go over and probably get a new stick.
You know, Mike, it's interesting when I just think about, obviously, the great history of this hockey club. As you see, Nick Boucher, who leads the league in wins with 25, but going back to when the Komets hosted the All-Star game, Justin Shvedorek was one of the speed skaters when he represented Quad City. Guy's always had wheels, an awful lot of high energy. You picked him up, and he was a popular player here, a guy who he was a real energy guy, a real hustle guy. And it's good to see him back in the league and kind of back where it started for him at this level with the Quad Cities Mallards.
He spent some time over in Europe, I believe, also.
Yes.
We have an icing. Those out-of-town scores tonight, we've got some updates. Bloomington has gone ahead of Arizona 4-3 with 4 minutes to go in the third period. Evansville still holding on since the early part of the game to a 1-0 lead over Dayton, and it's Rapid City 1, Missouri 0 in the second period in Rapid. We don't like those guys, those Rapid City guys.
Well, the Komets have won their last 4 in the series against the Mallards, so they've dominated a lot of the teams within their conference this year. Clock winds down to 4:22. Quad City's looking for anything. There is a good breakout pass. Again, oh, what a poke check that time, right off the stick of Lang. And the Komets continue to play outstanding defense, just frustrating the Quad City's Mallards at every turn.
Henley took that one, I believe, in the right arm, and he's hurting coming off the ice.
Yeah, it looked like he's bent over in the runway toward the Komet locker room. Well, now Marino tangled up with the Komet right behind the net area. But you can tell the Mallards aren't quitting with under 4 minutes to go. That is a delayed offside, so Quad Cities has to clear the zone before they can re-enter. Wrapped off the boards, and that's going to go the length of the rink for an icing. I still see Brett Henley bent over in the walkway that goes from the Komet locker room to the bench. Looks like he's meandering his way back to the bench right now, leaning over the boards right where the gate is.
Hopefully he's all right. Because right now we're basically playing with the guys that are available, so don't have a lot of room.
Well, hey, you know, Michael, looking at the close-up we had there, that was Stefan Thorne.
Yeah, that was Thorne. Actually, Henley's sitting. He's moving his arm on the middle of the bench right now.
Okay. You know, like Thorne also collected one during that last sequence.
Be careful here not to get a penalty.
Yep. Sterenke playing very physical. There was a centering pass, a bad angle shot by Priest was off the mark. Well, the Mallards still trying to put some pressure on in the final 3 minutes and change. Schwadorek, again, a high-energy guy, wheels around. Marino comes out to the point. Duffy tries to slip a check, a little backhand attempt, though, steered toward the corner. Oh, and Chaulk takes a high hit that time from Flanagan. Comes back to the point. Priest over to Hardy. Hardy. Oh, a shot that was tipped right in front by Schwadorek, and there will be the penalty. And again, there's a little bit of a scrum behind, and, well, it could go both ways that time.
Well, you're going to see now the advantage for the Mallards. I'm sure they'll pull the goaltender and go to the two-man advantage, try to get one on the board here. As we were talking just a minute ago, all game long down in Evansville, 1-0 Evansville. With 1:28 to go, Dayton has tied the game up at 1 down in Evansville. Dayton 1, Evansville 1. Come on, Gems.
Well, this comes at the 17:04 mark. Sterenke.
Surprised they're not lifting the goaltender here. They're going to call timeout. They probably will.
So here is our game reset. 2 minutes, 56 seconds remain in the third period. The Komets on top of the Quad Cities Mallards by the score of 4-1. Kays are looking for their 4th consecutive victory. And again, Chaulk opened the scoring at the 10:01 mark of the first period. And then a 3-goal salvo in period 2. Smith shorthanded at 9:32. Milam on a power play at 18:25, and then Chaulk at 18:56. Next Komet home game back here at the Coliseum 1 week from tonight when the Komets host the Bloomington Blaze. And again, that will be an 8 o'clock face-off.
Plenty of tickets still left for both of those games, although we are expecting good crowds both night. And look at this, 56 seconds to go in Evansville. Dayton 2, Evansville 1. They've scored 2 goals in the last minute and 10 seconds.
And is that game not in Evansville?
In Evansville. Only a minute, or less than a minute to go in the game.
Well, that would then possibly mean a Valentine's card to Brian Gratz.
Yep. Tomorrow night, then we'll try to take it back.
There you go. Well, the Komets clear the zone, so we'll see what the Mallards can mount here. And they are going to pull the goaltender, so Brown races to the bench.
Goalie out.
Well, let's see what they call. Playing the puck with the stick above the shoulders. Yep, Michael.
Okay, we got to get the stars here. I'll be right back.
Yeah, we will have the 3 stars of the game right afterwards. Minute and 39 seconds remain on the power play. 2 minutes, 35 seconds remain in the game. An important face-off. And again, Brett Smith doing a great job, but the Mallards do come away with the puck. They now have the two-man advantage because the goaltender is out. There's a shot that again caroms around. Boucher can only go down, try to hold his ground. Centered across, but Marino just puts it through no man's land. Now it's Matt Duffy. Duffy takes a look. They come back. Puck goes over John Snowden's stick. Back behind the net, there's Marino trying to put a little backhander. No! And the rebound, that time by Brown, whistles through the goal mouth. Just laying on the puck that time. Looks like it's big Brett Henley.
Well, that time Aduba kind of knocked Henley's head off the board, as we'll see here. Nice save by Boucher. And if you'll see if...
Oh, man.
Yeah, he kind of put him down.
Yep. Yeah, Henley was in one of those dangerous positions. Boy, Quad City's got away with one there. Big face-off for the Komets. And it's drawn back to the point. Now Giosa at the half wall. Marino centers. They try to feather it in front. Oh, Brown shot again, and Boucher stands tall.
I'll tell you, this line has done a good job for the Mallards, but Boucher making big saves. Our D-men coming up with big plays, blocking errant Komet passes. Komet's defensemen stopping shots from the point. This is what you got to have to win a hockey game. The Komets have played a very good all-around hockey game tonight.
100 seconds to go, and the Komets still trying to hang on to the 4-1 lead. 40 seconds left in the Quad City power play. And the puck is cleared the length of the rink. Mallard still trying to capitalize on the two-man advantage as they've pulled the goaltender. But the Komets have just stood tall tonight on the penalty kill. They battle behind. Milam finds an open area and fires at the length of the rink. Fans were hoping for an empty netter, but look who's racing in. Oh, that time Auger couldn't quite get to it.
More drama in Evansville, Indiana tonight. With less than 10 seconds to go, the Icemen have tied it at 2.
Wow. So what is that, 3 goals in about the last 30 seconds or so?
That's right. They had 1 goal the whole game, and then they scored 3 in the last minute and a half. And Arizona now has tied up Bloomington in the last 30 seconds, and they're going to overtime in Bloomington.
Well, there you see the big chase for the puck, and it wound up on the netting, so David Brown has to come back in for the Mallards. Haley Schrock on the draw, and it goes right toward the goal. Brown will be following his team out of the zone, hopefully heading back to the bench. Under a minute to go, and he's staying, for some bizarre reason, in the net. Well, he wants to see if his team will regain control of the puck. The power play is over, but you would still think they would pull the goaltender.
Apparently it's over.
Well, a shot is right on, and Brown has to glove it. And let's see again. You don't really need anything going on at the end of the game.
No.
Schrock, thinking better, skates away with 41 seconds to go.
I think Mr. Henley's been thrown out of the game.
Well, and he just called a slash on somebody, I believe.
I think it was on Henley. I think he's going to get the 2 minutes for slashing, and I think he's going to get a misconduct.
2 minutes slashing.
No, just a slash. Now, I find it odd that they're not going to pull the goalie here again. I mean, I know they're down 4-1, but you get a quick one here.
40 seconds to go, but the puck is banged out of the zone. Well, Giosa just spinning around, and this is taking time off the clock. Komets will take that. Henley with the slash at the 19-19 mark. A shot is on. Boucher gloves it, though leaves. Komets can't quite clear, though. Giosa near the half wall, comes back to the point. Duffy shot right on, kicked out by Boucher, kicks it into the netting. Nifty little move by Nick to chip the puck up into the screen with 9 seconds to go.
9.5 seconds to go, 4-1 Komets. This will take the Komets to 29-13-2, 60 points, and of course Evansville tying it up in the last 10 seconds. They'll at least get a point in their game tonight.
Well, it should be academic now. Let's see if the Mallards get one last shot off. They just kind of feather it into the corner. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. There was one right back in front, but that'll do it. The whistle blows, and the Komets have defeated the Quad Cities Mallards before a packed house tonight on Comcast Report Card Night. The Komets have won their 4th straight as they defeat Quad Cities by the final of 4-1, and the celebration is on as the Komets come out to congratulate their top-flight all-star goaltender, Nick Boucher, who has picked up his 26th win of the season. Mike, what a great job by your team tonight.
Yeah, they played well. You hit it on the head in the first period. The skating was excellent tonight. We know we got the wheels. We haven't been using them a lot lately, but I think we used them tonight pretty much the whole game. A relatively consistent game. Probably the best home game we've played since right before the turn of the year. It's been a while since we played a complete game at home. It's good to see.
Well, we'll take a break and wrap things up from the Coliseum. The Komets have won. They defeated Quad Cities 4-1. You're watching Komet Hockey on Xfinity. Well, with Komet team president Michael Franke in the house, Kent Horman here on Xfinity. And Michael, again, it was just a great 60-minute effort by your hockey club. Offense, defense, special teams. And this is a great start to what will be a busy weekend. And again, the team really seems to be on a roll again. It's 4th straight victory, a 4-1 win tonight over a quality opponent in Quad Cities.
Oh, absolutely. It's something we needed. We talked about it during the game, the consistency of the effort, the skating ability that we know we have within this team, and they played very well tonight, and we needed the 2 points, and we got them.
Well, just briefly recapping the scoring, Chaulk got the Komets on the board at the 10:01 mark of the first period. Assist to Chris Auger, Artem Podshendyalov, and then a 3-goal explosion in period 2 broke it open for the K's. Brett Smith sailed in with a shorthanded goal at the 9:32 mark, and then fireworks 31 seconds apart late in the period. Jamie Milam, a power play blast, an assist from Chaulk, who had 3 points, and then 31 seconds later at the 18:56 mark, Chaulk his second of the night, the assist going to Auger and also to Bryant Molle. Quad City's lone goal came in the 3rd period. At the 4:21 mark, it was a 2-man advantage. John Snowden with the goal, and the assist went to Jared Brown and also to Brandon Marino. So the Komets' next home game, again, will be Friday, February 17th against the Bloomington Blaze. Our next broadcast here on Xfinity will be March 25th. That'll be a Sunday game, a 5 o'clock start, and that'll be against the good old buddies, the Dayton Gems. Michael, thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you very much, Kent. Great job. It's time for you to go home and get some honey and lemon for that voice.
There you go. For Michael Franke, I'm Kent Horman. Thank you so much for joining us. Once again, the final score, the Fort Wayne Komets 4, the Quad Cities Mallards 1. You've been watching Komet Hockey on Xfinity.